there is no remedy for the pain of rejection. Today, we will discuss pain, leadership, and introversion. I'm Oliver, a psychologist and future neuropsychologist, and in my childhood games, I always chose my spot. Let's talk about Gaara from the desert. If anyone knows Gaara's last name, please let me know. This image evokes suffering. Isn't that right, folks? Who hasn't been moved when seeing that image of Naruto? The images of Gaara in Naruto draw parallels, but with some key differences. Both just want to be accepted. However, Naruto is extroverted, while Gaara is introverted. The extroverted person verbalizes their feelings more, whereas the introverted person tends to keep everything inside. Research shows that treatment for depression or chronic pain often succeeds because extroverts articulate their feelings, while introverts bottle them up. It's challenging to determine who has suffered more, and each person validates their pain in different ways. As I mentioned in the video about Naruto and hedonic adaptation, people tend to adjust to happy moments, while sad moments teach us valuable lessons. Gaara was born prematurely and lost his mother right after birth. Additionally, Shukaku was sealed within him, causing Gaara to grow up with the stigma of being a threat. His father views him as a weapon, and the villagers also see him as a danger. When a child is told they are a threat and that no one likes them, they are likely to believe it. Yet, Gaara clings to hope. His brother, Temari. Temari essentially played the role of Iruka for him. She listened to him and fulfilled an almost maternal and paternal function. One fateful day, Gaara's father attempted to kill him. The sand Gaara controls symbolizes his mother's protection, the love that shields him. However, when Gaara discovers that the person who tried to kill him was his father, he doesn't grasp this right away. The more unexpected an event is, the more pain it tends to inflict. Gaara experiences not only a significant shock, but also the realization that his father wanted him to commit such acts and wished for him to become someone who never truly felt loved or accepted. Temari reassures him, saying, "No, you are not what people say you are." However, when Gaara hears the only person he trusted say she also hated him, it shatters all the hopes of that young boy. From that point on, Gaara becomes what people claimed he was, someone to be feared. He develops what we call conduct disorder. The symptoms and behavioral changes are very similar to those of antisocial personality disorder, including traits like insensitivity, manipulation, lack of remorse, and absence of empathy, as well as violent behavior. The distinction lies in the fact that conduct disorder occurs in childhood or adolescence, and an individual may or may not develop psychopathy, which is not the case for Gaara. His issues arose from epigenetic factors rather than genetic ones. He endured challenging environmental circumstances. By the time he becomes an adult, he is entirely different from the child he once was. There is a significant neuroplasticity at play. A child's prefrontal cortex is not fully developed, and this area of the brain delineates the boundary between right and wrong. Therefore, there's a strong likelihood that symptoms will diminish as the child matures. Psychopathy can manifest when those traits persist into adulthood. It is understood that one cannot be diagnosed as a psychopath before the age of 18, as the brain is still developing. As a result, Gaara begins to focus solely on himself, viewing everyone else as a threat. Consequently, when someone crosses his path, he attempts to eliminate that person. He carries a deadly weapon by his side, the sand that symbolizes his mother's protection. To Gaara, everyone is a potential threat. When he perceives that someone might endanger his life, the sand transforms into a lethal weapon. He reacts to threats as if everyone were an enemy, resulting in a hostile mindset and numerous atrocities. His life takes a dramatic turn when Naruto enters the picture. Naruto penetrates Gaara's mind and emotions, understanding the pain he carries and what he has endured. While Gaara has always had sand protecting him and has not felt physical pain, he begins to experience his first emotional pain in his epic fight against Lee and later against other ninjas. Gaara has long felt a pain he describes as an emotional ache localized in the anterior cingulate cortex, which is always activated during feelings of rejection. Interestingly, this area is triggered both in physical pain, like when you stub your toe, and in emotional pain. It's worth noting that procedures to treat emotional pain are performed precisely in this area. Colors are also employed in treating patients with more profound depression. While the sand may help manage physical pain, it cannot address the emotional pain that Naruto brings to the surface. There is no remedy for the pain of rejection, and I speak sincerely when I say, I understand what you are feeling. This emotional connection is significant for Gaara, who realizes that Naruto too suffers. Despite their differences, both share the experience of seeking acceptance and understanding in a world that rejects them. Naruto, for instance, wields his power to protect those around him, striving to forge bonds and connect with others. In stark contrast, Gaara distances himself and isolates, leading to him being perceived as a threat. This distorted self-image is fueled by a lack of support and love during his formative years. Had he attempted to kill Naruto, the outcome would have been vastly different. Their battle could have altered their destinies. With his traumatic past, Gaara realizes the severity of emotional pain, and it's essential that we understand this suffering. When someone has a broken arm, you would never say, "That's just weakness. It will pass." So why is it commonplace to tell someone grappling with emotional pain that it's normal and that it will soon fade? This highlights a contradiction in Naruto's words and actions, which profoundly affect Gaara. He not only absorbs this pain, but also begins to reflect on his own life and the relationships surrounding him, prompting him to perceive life in an entirely new light. Gaara embarks on a journey to rediscover the essence of who he was as a child, a loving and sensitive kid. What we see now is an adult who, while strong and feared, is also incredibly sensitive and often sheds tears during vulnerable moments. This internal transformation is so profound that he starts to feel deep guilt for his past actions, particularly those that caused harm to others. He evolves into someone who wishes to protect not only himself, but also those around him, merging this desire with the power he possesses. In his quest for self-discovery, he rises to the position of Kage of the Sand, despite being quite young. What we witness is a 15-year-old Gaara maturing in ways that many adults never achieve. He views this transformation as an opportunity to take a different path, to emulate Naruto. Over time, Gaara undergoes a complete metamorphosis. After being rescued by Chiyo, he begins to feel accepted for the first time in his life. This moment is as powerful as Naruto being lifted by the villagers after defeating pain. In that instant, Gaara finally feels the acceptance he has always longed for. As a result of this newfound perspective, Gaara emerges as an exemplary leader. Organizational and work psychology studies various leadership types and styles. Gaara, as an introvert, demonstrates that leading by example is one of the most effective forms of leadership. This experience illustrates that you don't need to be a talkative person to be a great leader. Peter Drucker, often regarded as the father of modern management, emphasized that communication is vital, and Gaara embodies this principle. He consistently observes and connects with people, listening to their feelings. The fact that he doesn't speak much compels others to pay closer attention when he does express himself. This contrast becomes evident in the Raikage's meetings, where he tends to speak excessively, often without delivering productive insights. Conversely, when Gaara begins to speak, everyone falls silent and listens intently. During the Ninja War, he delivers a powerful speech that highlights his ability to understand and resonate with the emotions of those around him. By sharing his personal experiences, he fosters a sense of identification among his listeners who start to recognize that they are facing similar challenges and struggles. Gaara, an introverted individual unafraid to show his emotions, becomes emotional while conversing with others. Realizing he could have been in the same position if it weren't for Naruto, he deeply identifies with those fighting alongside him. This identification brings tears of emotion, particularly when he reunites with Rasa, his father. Their conversation underscores the significance of a mother's love, and those heartfelt words strike Gaara once more, prompting him to reflect on his past and family relationships. Pain is a fundamental aspect of the human experience. A person with congenital analgesia, a rare condition that prevents them from feeling pain, faces unique challenges in life. Unfortunately, these individuals often have a shorter life expectancy, as pain serves as the body's defense mechanism, alerting them to internal issues. Thus, pain is crucial for growth and learning. Furthermore, individuals who comprehend their emotional pain and can articulate it are vital for healing. As Chio stated, love is the remedy for this suffering. Gaara embodies this love. He is the wind that sweeps through his own story, leaving an indelible mark on his skin that symbolizes the pain he has overcome. Throughout his journey, he learns to forgive, just as he did with his parents, and he begins to prioritize the needs of others. This internal transformation, combined with his external strength, culminates in one of the finest leaders portrayed in anime. Subscribe, like, and keep following the psychology of anime, as there is still much more to come. Until next time.